people.
What's going on? Today we're playing Monster Energy Supercross 2. My screen just glitched out. There we go. Playing Monster Energy Supercross 2, the official video game. This is going to be an honest review. We've followed up with some gameplay of maybe some online tracks and some official tracks. I'm here with Xcast Media. Go hit them up on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook. What do you reckon on the game?
Yeah man, it's not bad. It's not bad. I've actually been quite impressed so far.
It takes a couple races to get used to with the physics and stuff. But other than that, everything's alright. I would say the track editor's pretty weird to begin with. But as soon as you get used to it, yeah. It does take a while to... It's a good game, a very good game, and you should buy it.
I think we can step up on Pro. I think Pro's a bit of a letdown.
Pro, in my opinion, was the worst game of the Milestone franchise. And I think this has overtaken, in my opinion, the first Supercross game as the top spot. And my order goes Monster Energy Supercross 2, Monster Energy Supercross, and then MXGP3 for my top 3. MXGP Pro was way down there, back behind Mud and Mud 2. Like, I found them games more interesting than that one.
Is anyone watching?
No, no one's watching. No one watches until like a couple days later.
Anyway.
Some of the tracks are absolute dog shite, though. They've got no flow.
What the actual
Official tracks.
It's not that there's no flow.
It's the jumps are closely compacted, so there's no room for mistake. And if you do, you're screwed. Anaheim 1. We've been putting some solid hours into this game. For some races you get this flow thing, the blue line, don't you not? And it's pretty annoying. Because you would turn it off for one game and it would still be there. And there for even more following games. Expect Mark to come last because still getting to grips with the game, as where I've been playing it for a couple of days now, if you could say that, as I was playing it early this morning around 1 o'clock. I know all of the West tracks and I've completed that championship. It's, to be honest, weird when you first begin, as you expect it to be a lot harder than it actually is, but you do have to control your bike and like push it into the landings of the jumps, which I find like more realistic, as you have to angle your bike to get the perfect landing, and you even have to seat bounce some jumps so you can get over some triples. There to help. The sand sections are definitely challenging, especially on like custom tracks, as your tyres literally just spin. We shall do a demonstration next race of the sand. It's mayhem. you will get stuck. Also, another feature in this game is if you heavily case a jump or a triple, it does launch you off. And I find that pretty cool. Yeah, sometimes you can get lucky and it'll be alright, but sometimes it will kick you off. Like right there. Yeah. There's quite a few tracks. What would you say the worst track is, Mark? That you've played? The worst? What, like plain? It was, yeah, it's very, you overjump mostly everything, and if you're not, yeah, that's on a 250, on a stock 250 to say, but the track I'm definitely most disappointed with is Daytona, as it did have the most potential, as it was a really good track in the previous franchise of the game, Monster Energy Supercross. I would say it was one of the better ones, but in this one it's a complete letdown and it was a waste. Yeah, all in all, the game is brilliant. It's just these little things. You have like really little details that make this game like even more, I don't know the words you put it in, more realistic you could say, as like the start gates, some of them are staggered, like some are higher, some are lower, like if you was looking before a race. The compound, that's pretty good. I rode around a little bit for like 5-10 minutes. Didn't get around all of it. It's good for training and getting used to the game if you don't want to go straight into a full-on race. But I'm gonna say this, the credits do take a while to go up. Even not as long as Pro, but even with the multiplier, it does take quite a while, but not as bad as Pro. So if you're picking up the game on, I think it's Friday or Saturday, if you didn't pre-order, you should be expected to take a while to upgrade your bikes and get kits. To get an exhaust or some tyres at least. Yeah, I do like though that the way they've set it out this year with customization. It's a lot easier to access than used before in the MXGP franchise and the previous Monster Energy Supercross. You have to use the bumpers on the back of the controller to access it, and the left analog stick to choose where you're going. Yeah. What do you mean by the arrows? Yeah, for that it does take quite a while to get used to that. When I was building my track, it was quite challenging to say the least to get used to it, and I've got to say this as well, track editor seems pretty buggy at the moment. You could be building a track and going out to test it, and you'd be unable to complete the track. It would respawn you backwards and push you further away from where you was, as Xcast here has previously felt. I have not had this experience. There's still going to be some fixes. Another thing on the track editor, you sometimes the camera glitches out on the close-up view and puts you into the ground. It's nothing major, but it can get quite annoying if it's happening over and over again. As like you could be building the track, maybe doing a challenge with some of your mates who can build the best track in a certain amount of time, and you'll just keep getting put into the floor, unable to see what you're doing. That could be pretty annoying. There's also some good new features in the game on the track editor, such as the sand. There's multiple new corner selections with like risen berms and tight insides. You've got sweeping corners. There's also sand jumps and corners. It's pretty annoying that there's no sand straights though. Yeah, if there was a sand like straight, you could make a whole sand track. All in all though, I do reckon you should buy this game, as it's definitely one of the best they've put out so far. And I feel like it's beating the rest of their games. It's like the top level of their games. Shout out to the two people watching. Two people watching right now. Ignore that, yes. This is early access, so remember there could still be some things wrong with the game which you may not like a few bugs and issues, but it will change over a certain amount of time. We've got one person watching now. If you're watching, please comment down below and I'll be sure to give you a shout out. Or female, you never know. We ain't about discrimination or sexism here. Whoever you are. I would say we could do, if you go on my live stream, Xcast, you should be able to see my custom track that I've built, as we are unable to play it on multiplayer at the moment, so I might be giving a little ride around, do a couple laps on there, just to show you what I've come up with in like 20 minutes to half an hour, and some of the options you can choose. So let's quickly jump onto track editor. It's weird how they've done the menu, but I quite like it as it's different. This is my first track, so please do not criticise me. But at the moment, everything is going good. This is the overview of my track. It's pretty simple, but I reckon it's all good for a first track. Let's go around and have a look at it. I did post this online, but we can't play it in a race for some reason. We've been trying for a couple of hours now to do it, but it just seems to not work. So that's another thing. You may not be able to race some of your races, but I'm assuming that this is going to be fixed before the full release of the game comes out on the 8th. I would say Track Editor makes this game so much better, as you can build your own tracks. You could build like your favourite track that you go to at the weekends or in the week, or a track that you just want to have fun around. I do not know what is up with the start straights. There's like little gaps in it, which is pretty weird. But other than that, it's pretty good. It has a pretty nice flow. I've got used to building tracks from the previous one, as I still played it up until a few days ago, until this came out. Yeah, the sand section was definitely difficult. Get no traction. Yeah. I think I can change it a little now. You got some new features such as the sand. You got this pool. Definitely got that stand up there. Well, the stand turn, I should say. I put some sand rollers in here. It's pretty cool. Let me know in the comment section below if you would race this track in real life, or even if you would ride it in game. This is what most people will find difficult. As you can see, you can hear the bike just not getting traction. It's just spinning and spinning. So, but you need to carry speed through it, otherwise you're not going to be going anywhere. So it's pretty much like sand. You got to keep the speed up. There's some big lines you can take, which is pretty good. Another bad thing about this game is, in my opinion, is they didn't include some of the riders. Like, they added Eli Tomac, which they didn't have last time, but they got rid of Ken Roxon, which is, in my opinion, my favourite rider. Even though they took out Ryan Dungey, they took K-Rock out as well for some reason, just so Eli Tomac could come in. That's pretty much a bummer, but everything else about this game is pretty good. Kenny injured himself like Phoenix, I think. He did a couple of rounds. Cooper drove straight into him. I still prefer the 3-foot whoops over some of the high ones, but the high ones have definitely improved from last time. You see what I mean about no traction and just sliding everywhere. So you've got to be light on the gas, otherwise you will get stuck. I would say this is pretty decent for a first track. Has a pretty nice flow. And you can ride it. You can take different lines. You can go up here and hit this ski, which I only used that to make it a berm, as I couldn't get a sweeping berm. You've got a sand roller section here, as I previously mentioned. So let's go through some of the new stuff. So you have this pool, which is basically a bomb hole, where it's literally just a gap in the floor. You can put jumps going into it, or you can do jumps going over it, like I have. You've got the sand sections. You can also create your own starts, which is pretty cool. You've got the stand turn, which the turn that goes up into the stands. I found that pretty cool because that was something they didn't have. That was pretty much it, which they've added, as in for new stuff. They also added some new jumps, like that one. Let's go backwards real quick. this one real here, the asymmetric single, or the ski, where one side's high, one side's low, where you can take various different lines. So yeah, this is my first track. I'm definitely going to be making more, and hopefully Milestones can fix the track editor, and so you could ride your own tracks instead of riding everyone else's, and maybe give you a bit more traction on the sand. As you can see right here, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to do one quick lap, one hot lap, and then we'll get back into racing. Say hot lap as I go off the track. I'll go over to the finish line and start the hot lap. Super. Yeah, I think so. Right. We'll start as soon as we go over this for a hot lap. Oh, son. Yeet. That was a cool feature, if you did see that. As I cased that jump, the legs came off the bike as if he was going to go over the top. That's what would happen in real life if you could save it. I'm definitely going to be making more tracks in the future, which are going to be better than this. If you did play any of my tracks on Supercross 1, you may not agree, but I would say they were fast and most of them had flow, and some of them you had to take easy, like some Supercross tracks where you have to slow down. Let's go through all the options you can use on the track editor, as they call it. So the new stuff, the specials. They didn't add any more finish lines, which is alright. The bridges are a lot better, they're not as steep. Right, for turns, let's do this. You have these standing ones which you had last time. You had the hump one. This one's new. You got the outside, which I used in the corner, which it's colliding with. You have just a 105 angle. These are all the same, going up to about here, and then you got this. I wouldn't say it's very good. It's quite hard to get on top of, and it's not really that effective, but if you could use it in a way, which it is, then you could use it for advantage. You have sand corners and some sweepers. Moving on to straights, got these normal 3 straights. On whoops, we have an extra whoop. We have the smallest whoop, the medium whoop, and the high whoop. They have made a mistake in the height. If you have a look underneath the whoops, it says height 18 foot 1 inch, which is definitely a lot bigger than it is. It's meant to say 1.8 foot. And they have kept the half whoops. Jumps all pretty much the same. We've got this one, which is the asymmetric one. We've got the sand jumps. New triple jumps as well. We've got this. Some new. I think they kept everything the same really from back here. They have a Drucken's back table, which I haven't used yet, which looks alright. Maybe we could get a good angle on it. There we go. That's all the jumps. Specials, we have the pool, which is used many times. The bridge, which I did not use in this track as I didn't feel like I could use it anywhere, and the stand turn. Finish lines, you have the 4 standard finish lines, and that's pretty much it. Let's leave this and go back to the main menu. I'd like to thank you all for watching this honest review of the Monster Energy Supercross 2 FIM World Championship official video game, and I hope you stick around for future videos on this game and many more. See ya.